Etienne Mutabazi. He's the chairperson of the Rwandan National Congress. He's also going to be discussing the beautiful sounds that we heard a little bit earlier from the group Gehazo, which I learned that it means the one who brings relief, or she who brings relief, which is something very, very beautiful indeed. And relief is something that we could all use, I think, as people all over the world. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you very much as well.
Talk to us a little bit about the group, if we can start there. I know it comprises ladies who are refugees here in South Africa as part of the Rwandan refugee community. Could you just maybe perhaps elaborate on that?
No, this is a group that is trying to show to South Africa and to the world at large the beauty of the Rwandan culture. Unfortunately, we are doing this in a foreign land. And as we celebrate this World Refugee Day, it has been a pleasure indeed and honor to us to come and show some of the performances here at the Broadcasting Corporation.
And I think the strength in the name, Gehazo, bringing relief, I think is very profound, especially looking at the history of Rwanda, the genocide. Have things changed much over the years?
Not much. Yes, we have heard about the stability in Rwanda and even the economic growth, but we need to look beyond that and see what is happening in the background. As I speak, a couple of days ago, the Rwandan president was addressing a population in the northern part of the country and say, we don't care whether the world is raising the issue of disappearance of people, but now we will be shooting at them in broad light. So you see that for us, it's really something extremely deep and extremely serious that we need to look at seriously.
What would you like to see the South African government do?
I think the South African government has done a lot. First of all, by accepting, hosting us as refugees, and some of us maybe being granted permanent residence and other form of stability. But also there are some diplomatic issues which I'm not privy to address here. But I know the South African is doing a lot. But first of all, it needs to be aware of what is happening there. I believe it's the responsibility of every Rwandan to address all those issues in the open so that it can be known elsewhere in the world.
Just the previous conversation that I had with Yasmin, she raised a very valid point that many refugees and asylum seekers who are here are not here because they just want to be. They're not here just for fun, but out of necessity. Have you found that South Africans have been receiving an understanding of the plight of refugees and asylum seekers? I
believe in the words of Yasmin, no one would wish to be a refugee, because this is the worst situation someone might find himself in. With respect to South African receiving, I think it's a process because South Africa started this of refugees after the democratic dispensation in 1994, and the first influx of refugees were Mozambican refugees, and at the time there was no legislation specifically designed for refugees. Now, South Africa has done a lot by enacting the Refugee Act in 1998 and its subsequent amendments. And with respect to the population, I think the population needs to be sufficiently informed and made aware of the plight of refugees. Refugees do not come here to take away jobs, women, or all those kind of things. And this is a work that needs to be done in kind of stakeholding. I mean, engagement between the refugee communities themselves and the South African population. And I participated in many forums, particularly last year we commemorated this Refugee Day in Soweto. And it was maybe an event that could show people that we are not really here to compete for scarce resources, but for, first of all, our safety and security and our human dignity.
Thank you so much for that. I wish we had more time because there's so many things I wanted to discuss with you, maybe even playing devil's advocate and asking about some who are not as genuine as you are, who are here to abuse the system of refugee and asylum seekers, who give everybody else a bad name. But unfortunately, we don't have enough time for that. I do really appreciate your coming through. I just want to make sure that we have enough time to listen again to the musical band. So we have to cut it short so that we can at least leave on a high note as we say goodbye. Enjoy World Refugee Day. Stop and think and just also be empathetic, I think. Very, very deep discussions that we have to have as a country. So goodbye. God bless. Have a fantastic weekend.